you are all doing well. I decided to pop on just a couple of, like a minute early so I can pull it up on the other side of my screen because, as you know, I have been having some technical difficulties with scheduling my lives, and I want to make sure I'm good to go. So I'm just going to give it a minute. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and skip forward like a minute or so, and we will just get started in just a moment. I just want to make sure that I'm good to go on the other side of my screen so I see myself. So that's always a good plus. So welcome in, my friends. As you pop in, say hello. Hi, Anne. Welcome in. I know. Ready for some sketch fun. Okay, looks good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Today is Tuesday, October 21st at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So if you are watching me during that time, you have caught me live right here on YouTube. For those of you that might be new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Tammy Civello, and welcome to Cards by TLC. And it is template week on Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. I'm so excited. Jenny will be back crafting with us today. So we are coming back with a sketch featuring one of our favorite places to get sketches, which is Mojo Monday. If you watch my template Thursdays with Tammy, I quite often use these templates because, as you know, I love them because it does show the sizes and dimensions on the sketches. So there's no guesswork. You kind of go with the flow. If you're looking for that creative jump start, these sketches are fantastic to do. And this is sketch number 521, and I'm going to be, or 529. Let's read the proper number, shall we? And I'm going to be using the Ornamental Christmas bundle today. It is part of the online exclusive Modern Christmas Suite collection. And then, of course, we're going to be using this gorgeous designer paper. That is part of the full suite. We're going to be using the twine that is part of it. I love a good black, white, and gold. I love our traditional colors, and I even love non-traditional colors, but something about black, white, and gold just screams elegance for the holiday season. And then some of these patterns you can focus on, like if you have a anniversary, a golden anniversary, or a birthday or whatever. Some of these designs are fantastic. There's only a few patterns that actually focus on Christmas, but the other patterns you can incorporate and make birthday cards, anniversary cards, sympathy cards, whatever you choose to do so. So this is the project that we are creating today, and I'm going to change up the papers because you know I like to change things up a little bit. We're going to do some heat embossing. So let's jump in and get started, shall we? Let me get this out of the area, or out of the way. I do need this because we need to do our cutting, but maybe we can pick out some patterns first and foremost. So on the back pattern, I used the trees, we used the stars, and we used the stripes. Maybe we can change it up on doing maybe this for the background. What do you think? This for the background, and we need 3 different patterns. So let's see here. I like this. I just don't know if I want this on the forefront. Let's see here. What do you guys think? First and foremost, maybe we can even reverse this. Or we can even make this our background paper. I would love your guys' opinions. I always love crafting along with you. There's even the black and white trees for the background. So we have some fun patterns that we can certainly play with. Hi, Heather. Welcome in. We are just picking out the background, we need 3 designs. So we're just picking out the background pieces together. What are you guys thinking? And if you guys like this pattern, we can certainly stick with this pattern as well. And I know that there is a delay because I am just seeing my showing of the... So Heather likes the trees. So this as our main background. And then we need a next layer and a third layer to incorporate. Stripes, okay. So trees and stripes, okay. And we need a third forefront. So Patty's saying maybe trees, polka dots, and stripes. Okay. So something like this. Kind of like that. And I love still having the gold in the forefront because we're focusing on the gold embossing. Okay, so we have our patterns. So that is good. It's always fun to change things up. So our card base. All right, we've got our 3. Perfect. Perfect. Yay. Okay, so our card base is basic black, top folding card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. Always my favorite go-to. We have an inside basic white panel piece at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have for our front focal point with our sentiment. This is the largest rounded square. So on Nested Essentials, so it's this largest rounded square. So we use that. And let's go ahead and do our heat embossing and our heat embossing so we can get that out of the way because our tree does have to cool down. So maybe we will focus on doing that first. So let me go ahead and get my heat embossing kits and our gold embossing powder. And we're going to go ahead and take our embossing buddy and prep our surface. If you don't have an embossing buddy or the kit, you can certainly use like a fabric dryer sheet. Those usually work really well. So we are going to go ahead and put our Versamark on. Love a good heat emboss, especially with the metallics. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, let's redo that. We dropped it, and I don't want to get... I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. We could still do that on the other side, but let's just be safe than sorry. Let's go ahead and prep our surface. Don't want to drop it. Okay. Bring in our gold embossing. And I will be retiring these containers once I use up this embossing powder. They are great, but I do like just having the simplicity of the Wow embossing containers to save space. And then we're gonna brush that little excess off there. And then we'll get our heat tool going. Hold this with our little clamp. You like layering dark, light, dark, so those 3 are great. Perfect. Let's get some magic happening. Sorry for the sound. Okay. We're gonna let that cool down. Let's go ahead and do our Merry Christmas. What I love about this bundle is the Merry Christmas is all one stamp. I love that. And I apologize if you guys hear any construction going on next door. They are redoing their stucco on the entire side of the house, and it's the side that faces my craft room. So if you hear any drilling or heavy hammering, I did close the window, but you just never know. And I did it, when I stamped this, I stamped it all the way over to the far right as I possibly can. And we're gonna come in with some gold bossing. It looks like that might be good to go. Let's go ahead and tap some of that excess off. And that looks good to me. So let's go ahead, maybe hold it right there. All I hear is thumping and drilling. So hopefully you don't hear that. Come on. There we go. Let that magic happen. Oh, good. You can't hear it. Perfect. No worries, Patty. Have a great day. So here is that fun fact. One of the first things that I loved as paper crafting or card making was heat embossing. I absolutely fell in love with the magic of it just coming to light. And that was like my favorite technique as I learned as a brand new crafter, which is pretty advanced for someone who had never crafted before. But I had a great mentor and a great teacher, and that's all that matters. She made it look easy, did step-by-step instructions, and I wanted to emboss everything after that point. So here is our tree. We are going to go ahead and run that through the die cutting machine. I think we've cooled down, so that's good. And I'm going to bring in my Post-it notes so it stays in place. Who else loved the magic of heat embossing and thought that it was the coolest thing ever? Oh, and see, I asked the question and didn't even look up and thought it was just so magical. I absolutely love it. You need to practice more of the heat embossing, Heather. I know there's times where I really do need to just practice it. And the key is to make sure that you have like the newest embossing powders. Sometimes if you've had your embossing powder for a really long time, that makes a difference. Prepping your surface makes a difference as well. Um, and then preheating your tool if you can. So those are like some tips that I could share. And I would love to know in the chat, here's a great like talking topic. How long have you been paper crafting? Are you a card maker? Are you mainly a scrapbooker? Are you hybrid? Do you do both? Do you just do cards? I would love to know how long you've been a crafter. So there is our tree, and our tree is gonna go on there, but let's go ahead and do our cutting. So we have for our first cut, we have a 3¼ by 5½, or 3¼ by 5¼ but on this original I did it at 5½. So maybe we'll go ahead and do it as the dimensions call for. Crafter, long time, cards for 2 years. Awesome. Heather, are you a demonstrator, or do you just like to craft? Anne loved rubber stamps and ink pads since she was a little kid. Mostly I made cards. I love 3D projects too. Anne, you are the queen of 3D projects. Definitely. So we have a 3¼ by 5¼ and I'm going to go ahead and leave this strip for the inside panel piece. So we'll go ahead and trim that down to 5¼ because why not? 3¼ by 5¼ and then our next cut's gonna be our polka dots, and this is gonna be 2 by 4½. 2 by 4½. And then we have our stripies, and that's going to be 1¾ by 3½. So 1¾ by 3½. And then I have my strip here, right here, that's a 1/2 inch by 4¼ to go all the way across. Let's go ahead and do our inside panel piece. I was just looking up and making sure I didn't miss any comments, and it looks like we're good to go there. Okay, there's our inside panel piece. I always like to do that. And then we're just going to center that right here in the center. Center that right here in the center. course we're centering it in the center. Where else would we be centering that? There we go. And, oh, we're gonna do our back panel first. We'll put that right there. I feel like that's gonna be more softer on this, is gonna be more softer on the eye. But I think I like them both. And again, this is a 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. That's gonna go straight across right there. And this is just gold foil. And this designer paper and bundle we are going to be using on my November gift card holder class. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be opening registration here this week on that, my November class. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to just put that right here, but we are going to pop this up with a foam adhesive sheet. Nice big square right here. We'll pop that up just like so. And we're going to add dimensionals just to the left side of this. And then we'll glue down the tree. Okay. And then we'll just add some liquid glue to this half part. The reason why we added Stampin' Dimensionals here is because we popped up this layer right there. But we are going to put that like so. That's like the place of what's going to be the heart. So that is my shape for that. And then we're going to come in with the black and gold twine. And we are going to add a cute little bow to the top. And look at that. Tammy made her bow on camera. I know. Who am I? Okay. Excuse my reach, guys. I'm just getting my ribbon scissors. And we are going to come in here with the glue dot. Put that right on the top of that tree. Come in here with our cute little bow. And voila. We have our card that we created. I am not amazing. Stop it. You're amazing. So here are our two designs. We have our original and the one that we created together. I don't know, I kind of like this one that we created together today. So this is the project. I want to thank you all again for joining me for another live on Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. Now, please be sure at 4 p.m. Pacific to head over to Facebook at Stampin' with Jen. That's 2 N's in Stampin' and 2 N's in Jen. And get her take on today's layout. It's super cute. I got a sneak peek of it. She's doing Christmas theme as well. And I will see you all on Thursday for another episode of Template Thursday with Tammy. And I will probably have some sneak peeks of my November class projects. We're going to be throwing in some templates, and we're going to be doing gift card holders, and that is going to be our November class, and registration is going to be opening up this week. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out for that as well. And if you are not on my email list, my newsletter list, please head over to cardsbytlc.com and hit that subscribe off to the right hand side to my newsletter. That way you get the email and notification when that goes live and registration opens up that, and all the sizes and dimensions and replay and template will be on my blog post tomorrow. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time for more creative fun. Bye everyone.